Cerrone, he's just been around for so long and is such a a staple of the UFC roster that I think that Darren Till, he can now parlay this into something really, really big. And to be honest with you, that was probably the best. I mean, no, and I love Mickey because Mickey's my friend, but that was a much more impressive performance from Darren Till than Mickey's performance over Sage or over CM Punk.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I'm not overly enthralled about talking about Mickey Gall's win over CM Punk or Sage Northcutt.
He's fighting.
You follow Sage Northcutt on Instagram?
No. Why is
He's a lovely kid, I'm sure.
You like him?
Jesus Christ. The cheese is on the next level, man. The cheese is on the next level. I like him, don't get me wrong. He's a lovely kid. And I like what he does. I like what he's all about. But just go to his page.
I'm here right now. I'm looking.
No, not his page. His stories, man.
Oh, his stories.
Hey, what's up? Kill it, guys. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, okay. And then we winks at the camera and stuff like that. And it's like, whoa, dude, stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. You know what? In fact, a lot of people need to just generally stop it on social media. Do you know what I mean? The preachiness on social media has gotten to an all-time high that I just can't take anymore.
Yeah.
All these quotes about peace and love and unity, but then you know them and they're a bad-tempered, stressing motherfucker. And I'm like, that is not you. And then why does everyone have to preach and show off and brag constantly? It just gets on my nerves. Have social media, have fun, post pictures, do this, do that, show what you're into. But please do not preach at me on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying?
It is, though? Because people are addicted to just in general,
comments,
human beings,
the likes.
Well, yeah, it's accolades, right? Human beings, we're designed to want to feel great, and it's now instead of doing something great, everybody can just log onto Facebook, log onto Twitter, whatever it is, and without doing anything, without lifting a finger, they get to feel as if they're doing some sort of social justice for the world, like they're helping the world, like they're creating peace, when they're just writing some dumb sentence that somebody else wrote in a different way 2 minutes before. It's nothing original.
No, of course. I'm just trying to Google it now to find, but I read somewhere that it has an effect on your brain, like it releases endorphins or something like that when you get, it's dopamine. Social media triggers a dopamine high.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Yeah, and so that's why they do all this. So they put these stupid, these stupid cookie cutter phrases, that you see on people's walls when you walk into the house, this is a place of love or whatever. And then they put it on there and everyone's like, yeah, it's great, love that. Or they take like something that a psychologist, not a psychologist, a philosopher once said and put it on there and try and pass it off as their own, and it just gets on my tits. Just gets on my tits in a big way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people and you're out there and you're posting bullshit quotes all day, every day, give it a rest.
Yeah,
give
Sage.
it a rest.
Yeah, Sage Northcut.
You don't do that. I don't see you posting all that type of stuff.
No.
A little bit of funny stuff, a little bit of this and that, stuff of you and your kid. It's great. That's what it's about, right?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't even when I'm on the podcast or if I'm doing stand-up, I can't even say just like if I'm trying to write a joke or if I'm trying to write something on social media, I can't even I won't even waste my time writing something that is just generic and that everybody agrees. Like racism is bad. Yeah, no shit. No shit, racism is bad. There's nothing interesting there for me. Yeah. So my mind won't even go there to say something about it or write something. I would much rather take the position of let me say something that's funny and racist and defend it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's more exciting to me than just going like, hey guys, you know what? Women shouldn't be sexually harassed in Hollywood. Yeah, no shit. Let's move on.
Absolutely.
It's just everyone spends so much time just kind of it's an echo chamber. That's really what it is. So everyone just kind of says the same thing they want to hear, and then if they disagree with you on social media, they fucking report you and block you. And you're like, what type of world do you want to live in where it's just people saying the exact same things you're saying?
Do you know what you can sum them up in 2 words? Preachy cunts.
Preachy cunts.
Preachy cunts.
Yeah.
If you're a preachy cunt, please don't. Just try and get off my page or I will block you. And in fact, I have to block a lot of people these days. My God, the hate is on an all-time. Is that an all-time high? There's a lot of GSP fans. I'll tell you what, they're saying the Madison Square Garden isn't selling out, but they're bringing out the haters on out the woodwork on social media. That's for sure. All right, what else have we got, Lewis?
We're talking about you and GSP at the Garden. Tyron Woodley actually I guess he said he wants to fight the winner of you versus GSP now. I feel like it's kind of like almost like it's cyclical.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
You want to touch me? You want to punch me in the face right now? Touch it, touch it. I haven't had a carb since 2002. You want to touch that shit? Not gonna happen.
Is that Step Brothers?
Step Brothers.
There you go.
I don't know why I went into that. No, it's not gonna happen, is it? Because listen, if GSP wins, then fair enough, it might happen. But, you know, I'm going to stand here and touch wood and all that shit. He ain't going to win. I'm very confident in this fight, and I'm very confident of still being the champion 2 weeks from today. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. I guess we're going to find out. Now, if GSP wins, then maybe that is a natural fight. But there's no way I can go from beating George to then fighting Tyron Woodley, another welterweight. No, it's great for Tyron to say that because it's a lose-lose situation for him. Maybe he comes... sorry, pardon me. A win-win situation. Sorry, that coffee's repeating again. You know, he comes up to middleweight. If he wins, amazing. If he loses, it doesn't matter. He's still the welterweight champion. Kind of the same way why I'd love to fight Daniel Cormier. Me and Cormier are saying the same shit. He's saying it. I'm saying it. But it's all a bit of fun and games. It's all a bit of tongue-in-cheek. Hey, don't get me wrong. If they want to do it, I'd do it. I fought at 205. But it ain't going to happen. You know, we're having a bit of fun with it. Now, Tyron's saying that he's just trying to throw his name into the mix. But, you know, realistically, there's no way the UFC are going to let that happen next.
Yeah, this is the quote. St. Pierre will probably call it McGregor, but he's going to have to be honest with the fans and say, I'm here for money, and that's okay. There's no shame in that. Just know that I'm going to call him out on that. Win, lose, or draw, I'm going to want to fight the winner of that fight, Bisping or George. Then I'm going to want to come back and see all this fresh new talent in the welterweight division, and I'm going to want to show them a lesson too.
Ooh, Tyron's going to call him out on that. The only problem with that is that nobody gives a fuck what he says.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, listen, I said it before. Here's George's plan. And he keeps talking about how it's in the contract. It's in the contract that I fight Whittaker. But he ain't going to fight Whittaker. It doesn't matter if it's in the contract or not. I believe it is in the contract. But all he's got to do is say, I don't fancy doing that. And if you want me to fight again and maybe sell a lot of pay-per-views, it's got to be someone else. And the UFC would fold, I would imagine.
Of course they would.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's like saying, do you guys want...
He wants to beat me, go back down to welterweight, beat Tyron, and then face Conor, and then beat 03, and then retire, and make a ton of money.
You know what?
And the UFC probably want that to happen. By that, I don't mean beat Conor. I mean beat me. Beat me, then beat either Woodley or go straight to Conor, you know, because what he would do is, you know, he doesn't need to fight regularly. He'll then lose the weight. He'll diet. He'll run. He'll do all that good stuff, and then fight some point towards the end of next year. In the meantime, Conor can fight Diaz or Ferguson, whichever one it's going to be, you know, and then he can take some time off. McGregor, I'm talking about, and in that meantime, what's his face, St. Pierre can be losing the weight to then meet at a catch weight at maybe 155 or 165 or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Because that would be a big money fight. Now, I think, you know, the skepticism in me, the skeptic inside me, they probably want that to happen. If I was running the UFC, that's what I'd want to happen. My job is to play a spoiler, wreck all those plans, and beat the shit out of the George St. Pierre. And the way I'm performing, I'm knocking guys out every round. Every round I'm sparring, or every time I'm sparring, I'm knocking guys out. Now, I've said that before, but it truly is happening. So I honestly believe I can stop George. I can knock him out. I can beat him. I respect his wrestling. I'm not terrified of his wrestling. I'm prepared for that. But I think I'm going to stop him. I'm going to stop the little Frenchie in Madison Square Garden.
As a fan of the sport, though, is there even a little part of you that would like to see George St. Pierre beat you, drop to 170, beat Woodley, then drop down to beat Conor? Come on, just 1% as a fan of the sport. How cool would that be?
If you're a fan of the sport, maybe. But if you're a fan of the sport, kiss my ass at the same time, in the same token, you know. What about a fan of the guy that's had the most wins ever, the guy that beat all odds and became the champion?
It's true.
Who's a loudmouth and pisses everybody off and rubs everyone the wrong way and talks shit on his podcast every week.
Yeah, fuck that. That's a better story, to be honest with you. George St. Pierre hasn't faced any real adversity in a very, very long time. And even when he did lose to fucking Matt Serra, he came back and avenged that loss so badly that he nearly erased it from everybody's mind. You know?
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'll tell you what as well. Perillo, the great Jason Perillo, emailed me a highlight of here it is. I'll forward it to you.
Please.
Forward. A highlight. You can't watch it now. It's too long. But it's basically, it's done really well. You know the movie Bloodsport, where, you're all over, different fighters from all over the world. They all fight in the Kumite. And they kind of make that, and it's like George fighting in Bloodsport against all the different opponents. And it's put into like a, kind of like a movie, if you will, kind of like Street Fighter,
Yeah.
And it's really good. But the point of Perillo sending it to me, he was like, look at all these guys. Look at them. Look at who they are. Look at the size of them. BJ Penn, the great BJ Penn, who realistically is a 145er. Thiago Alves, who now fights at 155. Cairo Parisian. Matt Hughes, who was, a 170 pounder, but still, who else?